All right, so Droid Turbo 2, just look at the box. Very similar to last year's Droid Turbo. Unbreakable screen, folks. So that's the big selling point with this device. Verizon's had this out not too long ago. This is an exclusive to their network. Motorola puts out a lot of variants nowadays, so it's kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the phones look the same, but you know, it is what it is. This is the Droid Turbo 2. Nice back here, nice feel. Actually, it feels kind of like this nylon type rubber. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna power this thing up. Pretty decent sized phone here. It's supposed to have a huge battery as well. I have to double check the specs on that. But this has got all the latest and greatest as far as specs go. I'll get those. I don't have them right off the top of my head, but your basic. Get to know your phone. It's probably nothing crazy. You know, it's got the turbo charging and all that good stuff. So that's the deal with that. Let's just go ahead and power this thing up and see what the deal is. So micro SD card slot, LTE nano SIM. Looks like it's in the same slot there, so that's pretty cool. Volume rocker, power button, headphone jack at the top. And as you see, it's coming in as this big old broken screen. So the Droid branding is, it's been around since the original Droid, which is really cool that they're still able to keep it around. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing set up. But I do like, the back of this phone feels pretty cool. It actually feels really nice. So very similar, looks like the new Moto X, as far as the design on the back. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it and I'll be back. Okay, folks, full review, Droid Turbo 2, Verizon exclusive, of course. Follow up to the Droid Turbo from last year. Now, looking at the phone, it looks similar to last year's model. A lot of nice things about, as far as upgrades have been made with this one. So looking at the, the hardware, it looks nice. It really doesn't look too different than any other Motorola phone. But like I said before, the back is very, very nice. Some things that really stand out about this thing. Number one, of course, it's got the latest version of Android 5.1.1 Lollipop when this phone came out. It's going to get 6.0 Marshmallow soon, but out of the box, it comes with that. Another thing, it has a 21 megapixel camera on the back, a much better, camera than before. Of course, it does 4K, all that great stuff. The standout things to me on this phone, number one, it can take up to a 2 terabyte micro SD card, which is crazy. I haven't even seen any of those out on the market yet, but it can support up to that. Another thing about this phone, it has the latest version of Bluetooth, which is 4.1, and that's pretty nice as well. It's a pretty close to stock experience with this phone. I mean, everything about it is very, very, close to stock as you can get. It's got a few Motorola things in here. But when you look at the software, you're going to get your Amazon stuff that Verizon has a partnership with. They got Game Aware installed. They got, it's probably more bloatware than what you would typically see on a phone that pretty much has stock Android, but it's a lot less than you would find on something like a Samsung device or an LG, something like that. Storage out of the box, you can get this in a 32 or 64 gig. This is how much you'll have on the 32 gig right out of the box, 24.06 gigs left. And, overall, it's a nice phone. I mean, it's a very good phone. The standout feature by far is the shatterproof display. 5.4-inch AMOLED display on this thing. The body's really, tough and sturdy, kind of ruggedized look. But, shatterproof display, custom to Motorola, and it's got a 48-hour battery on here. Now, I took it off the battery charger, looked at it. I haven't done a whole lot with it, and I still have 75% left, So, it's been sitting kind of like in standby in a sense for most parts. Kind of did some other little apps running in the background like NFL Mobile. But nonetheless, 48-hour battery, 3760 milliamp hour battery, which is nuts. No other phone has something that huge right now, out there on the market. So Snapdragon 810 processor, all that good stuff. But the main thing about it, the display, battery, and that's really, what sets it apart. So if you're on Verizon and you want a phone that has a shatterproof display, this is your only option. And then if you're looking for the best battery life, you're going to get it from this phone as well. Like I said, compared to other phones, you know, we're going to look at it compared to like the iPhone 6S. You know, obviously this phone's a lot wider, taller. We'll compare it to the 6S Plus. 6S Plus is taller, but the width is like exactly the same. So a lot thinner for the 6S as well. Old school folks, Nexus 5. Nexus 5 looks a tad thicker, but it's smaller in hand. You could tell it's a lot more manageable. And then here's the good old BlackBerry Priv, which the BlackBerry Priv is a pretty tank, you know, to say the least. These phones are almost identical in a lot of ways. So it's gonna wrap it up. I mean, you know, I like the Droid Turbo. You know, if you want the best battery life and, like I said, shatterproof display, it's great. It still does the fast charge, which they call turbo charging, which gives you 13 hours of battery life in 15 minutes. It's awesome. You know, it's a great thing. I mean, it doesn't really have a lot of other crazy, you know, frills with software or any kind of tricks or other gimmicks like that. It's kind of your bare bones, you know, Android Motorola device, but that's good enough in a sense because, you know, when you have excellent battery life like this phone does, it's going to, you know, put it for a contender out there every single time. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the site techsnobs.com/blog for more coverage. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Take care.